Hello and thanks for joining us on this Thursday afternoon, or should I say Friday Junior. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Here are the headlines we're following now at noon. An explosion in Garland County leaves many with questions on what caused it. Coming up, we'll have more details out of Jessieville. The race for the next Speaker of the House is heating up. More on Capitol Hill and a look at the members who are running as well as the challenges they face in 5 minutes. And a legendary former Dallas Cowboy will celebrate an Arkansas event recognized by Ripley's Believe It or Not. More on the festivities later. But first, we have a look at weather. This well-needed rain is possibly moving out soon, right?
It is slowly but surely doing a couple of things, Jurnee. It's tapering off and then moving off towards the east. Here's the live radar. This is what we're finding. Falling from the sky here at the noon hour, what you'll find is a lot of that activity is generally pretty light in nature. We're not seeing those yellows and oranges and reds that tell us we've got some heavier rain. It's not that. It's light in nature here this afternoon. You find a lot of it now pushing into eastern Arkansas. But with that said, if you're going to be out and about over the next couple of hours, probably want to keep that rain gear nearby. You're certainly going to use those windshield wipers if you're traveling along I-40 between Little Rock and, let's say, Brinkley. A lot of this activity pushing off towards the east. Some scattered rain near Batesville, Clinton, Heber Springs, Mountain View here this afternoon. Rain chances are tapering off. We'll drop it to about 20%, and we're already seeing some clearing in western Arkansas, so expecting a little bit of sunshine to close out the day with rain chances continuing to drop. Temperature-wise, it's been somewhat cool this morning, 60s, but now we're at some 70s where we're seeing that sunshine. In fact, look at Fort Smith and Fayetteville, already up to 76 degrees. Looks like Little Rock will join them in those 70s at 75 with those skies slowly clearing out overnight. More sunshine on tap tomorrow, and then we're looking ahead to a much cooler weekend before things warm right back up next week. Your 7-day forecast and all the details coming up in 14 minutes.
All right, Scott, thank you. Well, we began with the THV 11 update. A ruptured pipeline causes the explosion of 2 gas lines in Jessieville. One of the pipelines experienced a release of natural gas that ignited a fire Wednesday evening along Highway 298. Garland County Emergency Management says the flames reached as high as 300 feet. Energy Transfer, the company that owns the pipeline, says they don't know how the natural gas became exposed. The fire burned 2 acres of land with minimum damage to 1 home. Authorities say there are no reports of injuries or deaths. In Pine Bluff, an ongoing issue of copper thefts leaves the residents frustrated. We first told you about this in May, and since then the copper thieves have continued to steal from the Ohio Street area. Reverend Jesse Turner lives in the area and says all he wants is consistent internet to print his sermons, but that's continued to be difficult. He says it feels like as soon as crews repair the damage, more is stolen, and now he says something has to be done.
And you catch somebody, you make an example of them. Don't catch them and just put them in jail and don't show their pictures. Let us see who that perpetrator is. Let us see who the guy is that's doing this, or the gal, or whoever it can be, and not hide it.
Well, AT&T offered a $5,000 reward for the thefts back in May. They say they're checking to see if there's any updates for this recent string of thefts. The longest sitting mayor in North Little Rock's history, Patrick Henry Hayes, has died. The city making the announcement yesterday. Hayes served as North Little Rock's mayor for 23 years, from 1989 to 2012. Before that, he was a state representative from 1987 to 88. In 2014, Hayes lost out to Republican French Hill to represent the 2nd District of Arkansas in the U.S. House of Representatives. He died of cancer at the age of 76. Arrangements for his funeral should be announced in the coming days. In California, family, friends, and politicians are gathering in San Francisco to say goodbye to the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. According to the late senator's office, the guest list includes President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Senator Chuck Schumer. Others are sharing their condolences for the late senator at the San Francisco City Hall, where Feinstein lies in state this afternoon.
She is really not only a trailblazer in public service, but also a great mentor to women in public service, and working moms. So for all those reasons, I wanted to come out here and pay my respects to her today.
Feinstein died last week at the age of 90. She was the first woman to become the mayor of San Francisco and served in the U.S. Senate for more than 30 years. Now, the race is on to replace Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House, with members aiming for a vote as early as next week. Despite Congress being in recess, Majority Leader Steve Scalise is undergoing cancer treatment, and House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan declared their candidacies with another potential contender, Oklahoma's Kevin Hern, also throwing his hat in the race. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
How are you feeling this morning?
Less than 48 hours after Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy was ousted as Speaker of the U.S. House, the race to replace him is ramping up. House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan of Ohio, a vocal ally of former President Trump, was the first to announce his candidacy, arguing he believes he can unite the conference.
My politics are entirely consistent with where conservatives and Republicans are across the country.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana, who's currently undergoing treatment for blood cancer, is also in the race. He says he has a track record of leading House Republicans.
This is really important that we get this right.
And Oklahoma's Kevin Hern, a lesser-known lawmaker, says he's also considering a run.
How do you unite the conference?
Well, you listen first and you see what the issues are.
House Republicans are expected to hold a candidate forum next Tuesday, and members are hoping for a vote on who will fill the vacancy by the middle of next week. Until the next speaker is elected, the House is paralyzed by politics, unable to conduct business with a looming November deadline to avert a government shutdown and an ongoing fight over additional funding for Ukraine.
More than anything, we need to change the poisonous atmosphere in Washington.
While the next speaker will be forced to work with Democrats in a divided Congress, their first task will be trying to rally support within a divided Republican House. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Biden is receiving a briefing on Ukraine from members of his national security team today. Well, good news for the Jacksonville Animal Center as the mayor announces it will receive renovations. This comes after an unanimous vote by the city council, who approved $100,000 for the shelter. Mayor Jeff Elmore says the facility hasn't always been a top priority over the years, but as the city grows and continues to attract more people, he's seeing a need for the remodel.
The animal shelter has not been at the forefront of city or public's attention, and so we're fortunate that we're in a position now that we're able to put resources towards it like we are now.
Renovation upgrades will include a brand new interior, layouts, and equipments. The renovations are expected to be done by the end of the year. The Arkansas Department of Health announced the case of locally acquired malaria in Saline County. This is the 5th case confirmed this year. Malaria does not spread from person to person. It is carried by mosquitoes. If a mosquito that's infected with the parasite bites someone, it can then transmit. ADH officials say the chances are still extremely low. However, health officials say they're remaining cautious in their efforts and want people to know that they don't expect an outbreak.
Malaria is not like, say, flu or COVID or those kind of where you can easily transmit. There's no person-to-person transmission. And even people in the household, if a mosquito bites one person, it doesn't mean that other people in the household also may be bitten and get infected. It's extremely rare to happen like that.
Symptoms of malaria include a fever, chills, headaches, and nausea. Precautions include using insect repellent and covering your arms and legs outside. Today, the city of Pine Bluff honors Detective Kevin Collins on the anniversary of his death. Detective Collins was killed in the line of duty 3 years ago today. This morning, city leaders opened a new police training center named in his honor. The memorial was open to the public and offered tours of the new center. We'll have an inside look tonight at 5 and 6 here on THV 11 News. Well, a fun announcement out of Hot Springs. NFL Hall of Famer and former Dallas Cowboys running back Emmitt Smith is coming to town. He will serve as the celebrity grand marshal for the 21st annual World's Shortest St. Patrick's Day Parade next year. The parade attracts more than 30,000 fans each year along the 98-foot bridge. It features a number of entries, including Elvis Presley impersonators, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, marching bands, and more. The parade starts on Sunday, March 17th in downtown Hot Springs. Well, 2 American Idols are headed to North Little Rock. 2003 finalists Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken are teaming up to hit the road with their 20 The Tour. The two will perform together as part of the Charts Live 2023-24 Performing Arts Series at the University of Arkansas Pulaski Tech on October 7th. Show starts at 7:30 p.m. with tickets starting at $65. For more information, just visit thv11.com. Well, coming up, a group of students are finding ways to race through marine life while protecting it at the same time. More on this aquatic innovation after the break.
Speaking of aquatic, look at that camera lens. This is our View 11 looking across a dreary downtown Little Rock. A lot of Arkansas has been dreary. We've seen some good, much needed rainfall. That's coming to an end, though there are still some showers to track. We'll do that, and we'll take a look ahead into your weekend coming right up.